So, you finally decided to try creatine. Now one gym bro swears it'll make you go bald, another says you'll grow chest hair like a werewolf, and someone else insists your muscles will just soak up water like a sponge. Let's fix that. To answer all these questions, I became the crash test dummy for you and took creatine every single day for a full year. Same dose, same routine, 365 days straight. And yes, I got results, but also a few unexpected surprises. Before showing you what happened to my body after a full year on creatine, let's get one thing straight. Creatine isn't some sketchy powder cooked up by two guys in an RV in the middle of the desert. Your body already makes it. It lives in your muscles, waiting to be used as quick fuel every time you go full beast mode, heavy squats, explosive sprints, or that one bench press rep where you pretend everything's fine while your soul leaves your body. When you lift, your muscles run on an energy source called ATP. The problem is your muscles barely store any of it, and it runs out faster than your motivation on leg day. Once those small ATP reserves are gone, your muscles stop producing power and quit. Creatine helps fix that. Supplementing with it increases the amount of creatine stored in your muscles, which lets your body produce more ATP on the spot. More ATP means more power, more reps, and more strength. And what happens when you lift heavier, push harder, and do more reps over time? Exactly, more muscle growth. Before you even worry about results, you actually need to buy it. Walk into any supplement store and prepare to be ambushed by an endless list of creatine types: creatine ethyl ester, buffered creatine, gigachad creatine, and even sparkly unicorn-flavored creatine. They all promise better absorption, faster results, and some magical edge. Here's the truth, it's mostly trash. Stamp on a fancy label, add some science-sounding words, and suddenly your creatine is double the price. Stick to creatine monohydrate. It works perfectly, has no real absorption issues, and doesn't need to be enhanced or optimized. So when you're buying, flip the container over and check the ingredients list. The only thing you should see is creatine monohydrate. That's it. If there's a bunch of other stuff listed, you're paying for filler. That's why throughout my entire year, I used nothing but basic creatine monohydrate. Alright, once you escape the creatine zoo and survive the unicorn-flavored trap, let's talk dosage. The answer is simple: 5 grams per day is perfectly fine for most people. If you're a bigger dude, you can push it slightly higher, up to about 6 or 7 grams. If you're smaller, you can take a bit less, but obsessing over tiny dose differences is pointless. Your muscles don't care if you took 4.8 grams instead of 5.2. Creatine isn't rocket fuel where the exact milligram decides whether you explode or not. What actually matters is consistency. Taking it every day beats trying to calculate the mathematically perfect dose. So pick around 5 grams, take it daily, and move on with your life. Personally, I take 5 grams every day for one simple reason: it's the scoop size. Once you start taking creatine, your muscles need time to saturate with that extra creatine. You can fill them fast or you can fill them at a normal pace. Depending on your approach, this process takes anywhere from about 1 week to roughly 3 weeks. That's where the two options come in. The loading phase is basically speedrunning creatine. You take around 20 grams per day for a week, split into 4 small scoops. This floods your muscles as fast as possible, and after 7 days, boom, fully saturated and ready to go. After that, you drop back down to the normal 5 grams a day. The non-loading phase is the relaxed version. You just take 5 grams a day from the start. No marathon scooping, no wondering if you're on scoop number 2 or number 14. It fills the same tank, just over 2 to 3 weeks instead of 1. So which one is better? Here's the truth, they both end up in the exact same place. The only difference is how fast you get there and how much your stomach hates you. Because loading can absolutely wreck your gut. 20 grams a day might sound cool until your stomach opens a complaint ticket. Even splitting it into smaller doses throughout the day doesn't always save you. So personally, I went with the non-loading approach, 5 grams every day, no digestive horror story. Alright, saturation handled. Now let's answer the question everyone loves to overcomplicate: when do you take creatine and what do you mix it with? Some take it pre-workout like it's a booster shot, some take it post-workout, and some even dry scoop it at 7 a.m. Reality check: creatine doesn't work like caffeine where you feel it kick in 20 minutes later. Creatine builds up in your muscles over time. Once your stores are full, it just sits there doing its job every time you train. Whether you took it at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m., it doesn't matter. So what's the best time? Honestly, the time you'll remember every day. Personally, I just throw mine into my protein shake after training because I'm lazy and it's one less step to think about. You can mix it with pretty much anything: water, a protein shake, with carbs, without carbs, whatever. Once your muscles are saturated, it barely changes absorption anyway. The only thing that really changes is the taste, because creatine does have that tiny chalky vibe. So if you want to hide it, mix it with something you actually enjoy. Otherwise, don't overthink the magic combo. Just avoid taking it in the same drink as caffeine. Even though the evidence isn't rock solid, it might mess with creatine's strength benefits if you slam them together. But don't panic: if you're a coffee addict, you don't have to break up with caffeine forever. Just separate them: coffee earlier in the day, creatine later. Alright, the moment you've been waiting for. Here's what happened to my body after taking creatine every single day for a full year. Let's start with the benefits. First thing I noticed: strength went up. Not like waking up one morning looking like the Hulk, but a slow climb, extra reps, more weight, and no suddenly gassing out. Was it only creatine? Of course not. Creatine isn't magic, but that extra ATP lets you push a little harder, and those small wins stack up month after month. Second change: my muscles looked fuller. Creatine pulls water inside your muscle cells, not under your skin. That means you don't look soft and puffy. It's actually the opposite: you look fuller, thicker, more jacked. Drink enough water and you won't get that bloated look. Third change: recovery felt smoother. Less soreness, ready to lift again sooner. Was creatine solely responsible? Again, hard to say 100%, but the difference was noticeable enough to call it a win. And when you're trying to build muscle, recovering a bit quicker is a very big deal. Now, let's talk side effects, starting with the question every gym bro secretly worries about: did creatine make me go bald? Absolutely not. My hairline hasn't moved a millimeter. This whole myth comes from the idea that creatine might increase DHT, a hormone linked to hair loss, but in real life, if your hair falls out, it's not creatine, it's your genetics. So blame your parents, not your supplements. And while we're clearing up myths, no, creatine won't make you grow body hair like a gorilla. Guys who swear they started taking creatine and suddenly got more chest hair or a thicker beard probably just hit puberty. Bottom line: creatine is one of the most effective, safest, proven, and cheapest supplements you can take. You want more reps? Creatine. You want bigger, fuller muscles? Creatine. You want more strength? Creatine again. You want better workouts? Creatine. If this video helped clear up the creatine confusion, do one thing before you click away. Hit like so more people see it, subscribe if you want straight up, no nonsense fitness advice, and share this with a friend who still thinks creatine is some kind of gym steroid. Drop your questions or your own creatine experience in the comments. What changes did you notice first? Thanks for watching, and when you're ready to level up your training even more, check out the next video on your screen.